Hey there, Swain event listeners. The new year is here, and it's that time for new beginnings and adventure, which may include buying, selling, or investing in real estate. If this is part of your 2020 plan, then give me a call, Jennifer Morris with Keller Williams Realty, 865-694-5904, or email me at jennifermorris865@gmail.com. And go Vols!
Join the Swain event at Dead End Barbecue on Wednesday, February 5th to celebrate the Vault's victories on the recruiting trail. Enjoy a special barbecue breakfast and listen to Jason Swain and the guys break down each signee during this special edition of the Swain event live from Dead End Barbecue. Former players will be on hand as well as great guests. What better way to celebrate the 2020 signing class than enjoying some delicious barbecue and hanging out with the Swain event? Spend National Signing Day with the Swain event and Dead End Barbecue.
Deep down the middle's got his man and he's gone. Jason Swain, touchdown.
It's time for the Swain event.
Guess what time it is? My time. You can check your iPhone. Better say it's our time.
With your host, Jason Swain.
My man.
Real sports talk for the real sports fan.
All you chumps are gonna bow when I whoop him.
It's time for the Swain event, fueled by Dead End Barbecue.
Give me 2 pounds and a Ric Flair.
Turn me up, Ben. We got a lot to get to today. Swain event fueled by Dead End Barbecue, top 100 barbecue restaurant in America. Oh, yes. Barbecue for breakfast. That is what we will be doing February the 5th for National Signing Day. Live show there from 7 to 10 a.m. And you know how we do it. We'll be camping out, watching National Signing Day as Tennessee's looking to close a dang good recruiting class with a few more spots. Lots going on right now with Tennessee football, Tennessee basketball. Early enrollees hit campus. Tennessee basketball team played a game over the weekend, kind of, against LSU. We will get to that. Ben was in attendance. A lot of news and notes around the SEC today, so we will get to those notes as well. NFL playoffs going on, and wow, what a weekend of football. Ben McKee, good morning, my friend.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
I'm wonderful, man. I'm wonderful. Got my coffee in hand, healthy. Woke up this morning, feet hit the ground, ready to go this morning. So thankful, man. Thankful. How was your weekend?
It was good. I am one who appreciates good health this Monday morning, as last week I did not feel like myself, was very sluggish all week. Everybody heard how I sounded. So last week was rough, but I feel good. I've gotten over it. But it was a good weekend. Kind of just sitting around, getting some things together around the house, going to watch Tennessee play LSU in basketball. That was interesting, but the Titans made the weekend fun, so that was cool to watch.
Absolutely, man. I remember last week talking about this matchup between the Patriots and the Titans, and we both felt like the Titans were going to win. Not like, oh, man, maybe they can, and oh, they could, but we said they will win because of the matchup and how the Patriots were currently playing. Felt like Tannehill was a better quarterback today, playing better than Tom Brady, and that certainly was the case on Saturday. And then you had Derrick Henry running behind that massive offensive line. The Patriots had no answer, and the Titans went on the road and beat the Patriots in Foxborough, advancing to the next round of the NFL playoffs, and they take on the best team in the league right now, who has not played in a while, and even the guys who did play, it wasn't the first team guys. It wasn't Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson set out against your Steelers to finish the season, so it's been a while since the MVP, and he will be the MVP. It's been a while since he has played. So the Titans, they're hot right now. They have played a game. A lot of pressure on the Ravens. So you never know.
Going to need more out of Ryan Tannehill. I did not think he was all that impressive on Saturday night. And he didn't really need to be, because all you have to do is turn around and hand off to Derrick Henry. But I'm stating the obvious, but the Titans are going to need more than 14 points to beat the Ravens.
Yes.
As great as the running game is, and you can have a really good running game, but sometimes it doesn't always produce points. And I think that falls back on the quarterback needing to be more productive. So Ryan Tannehill is going to have to play much better. And I'll be honest, Swain, everybody's talking about contract extension, 4 or 5 year deal for Ryan Tannehill. Saturday night made me pause and wonder if a 4 or 5 year deal for him is worth it. If I were the Titans, I think I'd franchise tag him and have him prove it to me one more year. I mean, he has been terrific this year, should be the Titans quarterback going forward, but I don't know. Saturday night gave me a little pause for concern, and I'd like to see a bigger sample size out of him before I commit to a huge deal out of him.
Yeah, you look at the NFL right now, and it's kind of the opposite of college football. The top passing teams, you look at LSU, you look at Clemson, Ohio State threw the ball around the yard, and Justin Fields did a really good job of taking care of the football for actually all of the regular season, but struggled there in the semifinals. But the college teams that throw the ball around the yard, they're playing for a national championship. NFL's totally opposite because the 4 teams that threw the ball for the most yards, Tampa Bay, Dallas, Atlanta, and the Rams, man, they're at the house. Mm-hmm. They're at the house. But the teams that run the football, the Seahawks, the Titans, they're in it.
The Ravens.
And they have advanced to the second round. So really cool to kind of look at it from that point of view. David Johnson. Last week, there's reports about Florida State targeting Tennessee's running back coach, and Tennessee made a counter offer. David Johnson thought about it with his family and ultimately decided to leave and go to Florida State. Not a big surprise at all because of his relationship with Mike Norvell. He left Mike Norvell from Memphis to come to Tennessee. When you have opportunity to make $500,000 a year, you take that. It was a great experience for him. Now he gets the chance to kind of go back and work with the dude that he probably has a better relationship with. I'll say probably. And work closer to Louisiana, which is where he's from. And if you ever talk to David Johnson and his family, they have a strong, what would you call it, a Louisianan, Bayou, Creole, whatever.
Cajun.
They have a strong accent. You can tell they're from Louisiana.
A Cajun accent.
You can tell. And it's really cool, man. I think it's pretty cool. I kind of want to go down to Louisiana and pick up me one for a little bit until LSU came in here. Now I'm mad at them all over again. But anyways, when you talk to David Johnson and his family, you know they're from Louisiana, and being there for most of their life and then going to Memphis and then coming here, a little bit different in Knoxville from Memphis and where they're from in Louisiana. And so they have a chance to be closer to home. I think David Johnson did a great job in Memphis this year. But we had a conversation about kind of his first year, he was at a disadvantage because you usually work to the strength of the coaches. So, like, for instance, if I was a coach, I would go down to Alabama and use my connections in Alabama. You see Pruitt and the company kind of doing some of those same things as well. But let's just use me for an example. I'm from Alabama. Of course, I'm going to try to use my connections in Alabama. Well, David Johnson is from Louisiana. But he's not pulling any kids from Louisiana, not the top kids, because those kids are going to LSU. But if you're at Florida State, that's not far away. It's not far away at all. So he has a better chance, I think, to recruit to Florida State. He said in his comments to 247 and VolQuest that it's a chance for his family to be closer to home, for his son to get visits from grandparents. Mm-hmm. He is in high school. He was at Farragut for a little bit, then went to Catholic this past year, and so he's in high school. And those are moments that David Johnson probably is going to miss a lot of, but doesn't mean that the grandparents need to miss those moments. And so it gives a chance for family to be closer together. And I get it. I understand it. David Johnson is grounded. He's making a lot of money, but money is not the most important thing for him. Family is. And so now Tennessee has to go out and replace a guy that was the best recruiter on the staff this past year. Going to Memphis and getting all the players that he got, Tennessee has to replace that coach. And I think Tennessee will be able to do it. Will it be easy? I'm not going to say it's going to be easy because I don't want to take away credit from David Johnson. What he was able to do is not going to be easy at all because David brings a different dynamic to the staff. Mm-hmm. He does. There are some pros and cons about some of the candidates that I have written down versus David Johnson. There's some things that David Johnson, I think, would have done better, and there's some things that maybe some other guys would do better. Sometimes when you're looking to make a big change, you got 80% of what you want, but in search of that last 20%, you make a change, and then the change that you get, sometimes of it doesn't even add up to 80%. You thought you were going to get a better job. You got a good job. 80% of 100 of what you really, really want, you make that change, and now instead of 80%, you got 20% looking for the 80%. And sometimes that happens. I don't know if it's going to happen in this case with Tennessee going out and replacing David Johnson, but I don't want to make it seem like that he's going to be just easy to replace. Oh, he's easy to replace. Oh, you lost Derek Barnett. Oh, well, the next guy will be just as good. Oh, we'll replace his production, no problem. Oh, Josh Dobbs is leaving. Oh, yeah, I can't wait for Quinn Dormady. We'll be good. Sometimes we do that to ourselves, and we're not going to do that with David Johnson. He will be missed, but Tennessee has a really good opportunity to go out and get a dang good running back coach. And I'm going to tell you right now, the only thing I care about is can you recruit. I don't care about how you develop running backs. I don't care about your X's and O's skills. I don't care. Can you recruit? Because that's what it's all about. In the history of the running back position here at Tennessee, when teams are winning a lot of games and have a lot of production from that position, you don't need a coach that's an expert, X's and O's wise, at running back. You don't need that. You need a recruiter. You need someone that's going to go out and get Travis Stevens, get Travis Henry, get Jabbar Davis, get Cedric Houston, get some of those guys. And then you teach them some things here or there about pass protection, about pressing the hole. And then you inspire them and then you let them go. That's what you need at the running back position in the SEC. It's not like having a quarterbacks coach or DB coach or wide receiver coach where it's all this technique that's involved or offensive line coach. Give me the best recruiter right now. And there's some options. There's some options out there for Tennessee that we're going to discuss coming up from this break. So you don't want to go anywhere. If you're going to get some coffee, you better hurry up. If you got to go use the bathroom, you better hurry up. You better hurry up. We're going to go over some of the options for Tennessee, some of the names that's out there, pros, cons, chances. We'll talk about that coming up from our first break of the week. Swain Event fueled by Dead End Barbecue.
While the other guys are taking guesses, the Swain Event is taking you behind the scenes and in the huddle every morning from 7 till 10 right here.
When you see the happy face on our truck, you'll be smiling because you'll know that you're in love.
For a limited time only, Hiller is offering 0% interest financing for up to 48 months on qualifying high-efficiency HVAC systems. With no down payment required, expert installations, and convenient monthly payments, now is the perfect time to schedule. Visit happyhiller.com today.
Call the Happy Face Truck today.
You don't have to take an L just because you can't listen to the Swain Event live. You can catch up on the podcast posted daily on the app, online, and on iTunes.
You're driving home, flashing blue lights in your rearview mirror. You pull over, step out of your car, and the next thing you know, you're being arrested for driving under the influence. Now what do? We all should be responsible. But remember, just because you're arrested doesn't mean you're guilty. Call criminal defense and DUI attorney Marcos Garza at 865-540-8300. The investigative teams at the Garza Law Firm know the justice system inside and out. They utilize cutting-edge technologies and investigative methods to prepare your specific case. Before you plead guilty to any criminal charges, call criminal defense and DUI attorney Marcos Garza. Put his number in your phone right now, 865-540-8300, because you never know when you or a friend will need it. Don't say guilty. Say Garza. 865-540-8300. 865-540-8300 and GarzaLaw.com.
In debt? In too deep? Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union says, stop treading water and get out of the deep end. If you've got debt, make a splash and come get some cash. If Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union can refinance your car, boat, camper, motorcycle, credit cards, personal or home loan, they'll pay you up to $500. So come take the plunge right now. Refinance your loans. Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union will pay you. 5 convenient locations. Visit atfcu.com. Equal housing lender.
If you want to chop it up with the fellas, call the Be Dry Waterproofing Hotline at 865-200-5503.
For Jeremy Pruitt, it's been about how do you manage a roster that you inherited? How do you recruit? How do you continue to build a roster, develop? And you look at coaches that have got themselves in trouble in the SEC in the last couple of years. Go look at the quarterback production. You know, Coach Former, that's what got him in trouble in 2008, was the offensive production, the quarterback lack of development and production. And you look around the league, and guys will get fired just had quarterback problems. Look at Barry Odom. Look at Joe Moorhead. That was a hurdle for Pruitt, and it remains to be seen if he can find his guy. Like Butch Jones found his guy in Josh Dobbs. Found his guy. He did. And Dobbs covered up a lot. A lot. Let's see if I can go any deeper. A lot. He did. A lot. Pruitt needs to find his guy. So making a checklist for Pruitt on taking the next step with this football program. Find your guy. I know who that's going to be. Kirby Smart, Jake Fromm covered up a lot. A lot. Jake Fromm coming in as a true freshman, being very mature, having his best years in his first 2 years. Covered up a lot. Pruitt has to find his guy. Secondly, staff chemistry, staff culture, staff atmosphere, whatever you want to call it. David Johnson is one coach that has already left after completing his 2-year deal. There are several other coaches that have completed their 2-year deal. That's Chris Winkie. That is Tracy Rocker. That's Kevin Sheriff. I'm not sure about Rump because he had the co-coordinator role, but I'm going to take a guess and say Rump as well. But a lot of coaches signed 2-year deals, and those have expired. So how does Pruitt replace those coaches and coaches that he have? how do we have that staff chemistry that rivals Clemson? Because that's what makes Clemson. Yeah, they have the talent. They develop players. But those coaches, they have stayed together. Brent Venables has turned down many head coaching opportunities. Jeff Scott has turned down opportunities. You had Dan Brooks, who retired, but Dan Brooks has been part of great staffs. And he was successful there as well. That's where we need to get to. Where if guys are leaving, it's because they're taking huge steps forward in their careers, going from position coaches to coordinators, or coordinators to head coaches. And occasionally you have your David Johnsons. But that's the next step for Jeremy Pruitt, is getting a staff that is together. Not a revolving door like Alabama. But Alabama can do it. We ain't Alabama. We're more likely to be like Clemson if we're going to win than being like Alabama. You have a greater chance of being like Dabo than you have of being like Nick Saban. There's only one Nick Saban. So got to keep the staff together as much as you can. Got to be able to work together. And now Pruitt has to replace a coach. So the first name, Ben, I'll ask you, your first name is probably everyone's first name, but your first name is?
Jay Graham.
Jay Graham. I don't know Jay's middle name, or I would say it. Jay Graham, former Tennessee running back. Think about that number 25 streaking up the sideline against Alabama. Jay Graham from Concord, North Carolina, which is right there, Charlotte. What's the next name?
I guess I'd say Joe Osavet.
Joe Osavet. I don't know Joe's middle name. I would say it too. Joe Osavet, who came from JUCO 2 years ago. He was a head coach up there, the SASA Avengers. Never heard of the school, but he was a head coach, and they were prolific on offense. Great offensive mind. But remember what I said first segment. No offense, Joe Osavet, I don't care about any of that stuff when it comes to coaching the running back position.
Recruiting.
I want a recruiter. Now, it's very important to have a smart running back coach, because when you're giving input to the offensive coordinator or you're giving input inside of that offensive meeting room, that's important. Mark Elder was very, very, very important to Butch Jones' staff. Very smart. And even though he was a tight ends coach, he offered a lot of great input in the offensive staff meetings to Mike Bajakian. So I'm not saying I want a head coach a running back coach who can recruit, but as smart as a box of rocks. I don't want that. But I'm not putting all my weight on a X's and O's guru and neglecting recruiting. So I need a recruiter at the running back position. All right, that's one name. So Joe Osavet, Jay Graham, who else?
Montario Hardesty.
Montario Hardesty from New Bern, North Carolina. So Montario Hardesty played here. His freshman year was 05, finished up there in 09, second-round pick of the Cleveland Browns. Worked for Pruitt last year, has a relationship with Lane Kiffin, worked under Lane Kiffin, currently is at Charlotte as a wide receiver coach. Who's next?
Those are the top three names that come to my mind.
I got some more for you.
Hit me.
Who needs to be contacted if we get past Jay Graham? That is Brian McClendon.
Yes.
At South Carolina. He can coach running backs. He can coach wide receivers. And he is a SEC giant in the recruiting game. He was demoted from the offense coordinator position this past year. But remember, Pruitt tried to go get him the first time. And Carolina gave him a promotion, keeping him there at South Carolina. With Will Muschamp kind of being on the hot seat this year. Remember when Terry Joseph, who was Derek Dooley's, that was his boy. Don't know where they are now, but that was his boy. Terry Joseph was his boy. And Terry Joseph saw that sinking ship and jumped, went to Nebraska.
Real quick.
He jumped. So does Brian McClendon, does he jump? Does he jump? That's a name. I think Frank Wilson needs to be on that list. Frank Wilson was the head coach at UTSA, Texas San Antonio. But before he took over as a head coach there, Frank Wilson spent some time at LSU. He was here under Lane Kiffin at Tennessee. But Frank Wilson, like Brian McClendon, dog in recruiting in the SEC. So has ties. Those ties are mostly in Louisiana, but he can recruit his butt off. And coaching running backs, not that difficult. It's really not that hard at all. It's probably the easiest position on the field to coach. The easiest. Yeah. Sorry, running back coaches, I don't want to diminish what you do on a daily basis, but what do you have to tell DeAndre Swift? What do you have to tell Todd Gurley, Derrick Henry, Jamal Lewis? I mean, what do you got to tell those guys?
Not a lot.
You going to teach them how to break tackles? You going to teach them how to run a 4-3, 4-4?
No.
Nah, man. You don't teach them that. You teach them a few things and let them go do what they do.
He was the Rivals.com National Recruiter of the Year in 2011.
Frank?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
then
Frank's a stud now.
In 2014, he was the NFL.com top recruiter in college football. And then in 2015, Scout.com named him the SEC Recruiter of the Year. So, Recruiter of the Year in some form or fashion, 3 different years by 3 different publications.
Yeah, I'm just sharing what I would do. Who would be on my list? And these are also guys that probably have some ties to Jeremy Pruitt. But the first one is Jay Graham. You don't, if you're Jeremy Pruitt, you don't adopt the same approach as many of you guys used to do back in the club, back in your college days. When it's about 150, 210, 215, the club's about to close at 2:30. You don't just go around saying, hey, what's your number? What's your number? What's your number? Hey, what's your number? What's your number? You don't do that to like 10, 15 different girls and say, hey, one of them is bound to say yes. You don't take that approach. You talk to one first. You talk to your top guy first, the one you want the most first. And then if something happens and deals fall through, then you go to your second guy. But you don't talk to all 3 or 4 at once and say, all right, whoever says yes, get the job. That's not the way it works. I think Tennessee needs to start with Jay Graham. I think there was some smoke last year with him potentially joining Tennessee staff. A&M promoted him to co-offensive coordinator, and he got some change, got some money. 2, what were you going to say?
Well, you started to talk about it, but as Vols May Texas says on the text box, not to burst any bubbles, but Jabari Davis posted on Twitter that he spoke with Jay Graham and said that he is not coming.
Disregard.
That's why I brought it up. Wanted to address that.
That is the best way I can address that.
Disregard that.
Disregard. I will not be talking about Jay Graham if I didn't know what I was talking about. Disregard.
A separate name, Volmac, is Trooper Taylor an option at running back coach, or is he damaged goods?
I don't think damaged goods is the right word. I just haven't seen an SEC school fight to bring Trooper back into the league. Maybe what happened at Auburn, I'm not sure. I've spoken to Trooper several times. I know he wanted to be a part of Butch's staff. I know he wanted to be a part of this staff. He loves Knoxville. His son graduated, daughter, I think she is finishing up as well, but he had a perfect situation there at Arkansas State where his wife worked at the school, Evie, and he had his 2 kids playing at the school. Then he was coaching at the school, and now they graduated. It was a great chance for him to go to another school. He did that. He's at Duke currently with Coach Cutt, and Blaze, his son. Last time I checked, was at Duke working as a coach as well.
A GA, right?
Yeah. So Troop loves Knoxville. It's been a couple months since I talked to him, but I haven't asked him about the Tennessee job. I just know that he's not going to be first, second, or third probably on this list. So I haven't even wasted my time there.
We have a please bring back Robert Gillespie from Leslie on Facebook.
Robert was fired from the staff. I wouldn't do that at all.
Yeah, I wouldn't either.
He would not mesh with this staff. He did a pretty good job here. He did a good job of developing, John Kelly, but remember, we're looking for a recruiter. Robert Gillespie didn't recruit at a high level. He was very important in bringing in Alvin Kamara, but you're only as good as your last sign in class. So Robert Gillespie does not recruit at the level in which Tennessee needs. So that's a no for me, dog. That's a no.
I feel you.
Yeah, I'm going Randy Jackson, American Idol.
I mean, just in the short month that Coach G kind of – did he overlap, or was he there for the month that there was no head coach?
He was here. He was here, and remember, he was –
through signing day,
he was let go after signing day.
Yeah, it was in that short period of time, 2 months, 2.5 months, 3 months, it was just not a great fit.
It's not a great fit. He's not ready for this Pruitt grind. So that's a no for me.
And I imagine that he has it made at North Carolina right now. I mean, North Carolina appears to be on the uptick there with Mac Brown. So
They are. Mac Brown's a Hall of Fame coach. They took basically the same players that Fedora couldn't win with, and they went out and won more games. Went to a bowl game. I had a chance to beat Clemson. If I'm Robert Gillespie, I stay right where I am. But that would not be a good move for Tennessee when you have a chance to go out and get Jay Graham. I would take Montario Hartsey over Robert Gillespie. Jay Graham. All eyes on Jay Graham right now for me. And I know what you said on Twitter. Disregard. Jay Graham is a real option. 865-200-5503 B-Dry Waterproofing Hotline. Around the SEC, coming up around the corner.
For a replay of each day's Swain Event TV, like us on Facebook.
We have all made the mistake of dropping or breaking our smartphones. See? But did you know that you can have it repaired for a fraction of the cost it takes to replace it? Well, you can, because iDrop is the area's leading mobile repair store, home of the 1 hour or less phone repair, 1 year parts warranty, and #1 customer service. Broken screens, cracked cameras, charging ports, batteries, you break it, we'll fix it. If you didn't break your phone, protect it with one of our leading accessories such as LifeProof, OtterBox, UAG, Incipico, Caseology, and Spec. Visit our West Hills location at 7115 Kingston Pike between Office Depot and Hardee's, or call 865-888-9740 and speak with our trained technicians to see how we can get your phone working today.
Craving flavors that don't take hours in the kitchen? Mrs. Grissom's cheese spreads and chicken salads are the perfect go-to. Ready-to-eat meals and snacks found in the meat or dairy section at your local grocery store. Whether you crave the classic Mrs. Grissom's pimento cheese or the gluten-free select varieties like the cranberry pecan chicken salad, enjoy small-town flavor in every bite. Select the best. Select Mrs. Grissom's.
Fellas, I have a very important question to start the new year. Have you noticed a lack of energy, motivation, and drive? It could be from low T, or it could be from something else, like sleep apnea, or even low thyroid. Start your new year healthier with a quick and easy health assessment at Low T Center. They treat more than just low T, including sleep apnea, low thyroid, and more. It's covered by most health insurance. If you've been feeling tired, grumpy, have weight gain, or loss of muscle, call 865-392-1388 or go to lowtcenter.com. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare. When I made the move to my own studio, I was worried about this. I was worried about that. I was worried about, hey, did I get this piece of equipment? Did I get that piece of equipment? Does that sound good? Does that not sound good? One thing I didn't have to worry about, that was office furniture, because Office Furniture Outfitters met my furniture needs. With a 50,000 square foot facility, they have East Tennessee's largest selection and are the best value for new and used office furniture. Located in Knoxville, it's easy to find everything you need for your new space, including desks, file cabinets, chairs, conference tables, and more. Office Furniture Outfitters is turnkey. They came to my place, we mapped everything out that was needed, they delivered, and get this, set everything up. To learn more about what Office Furniture Outfitters can do for you, log on to ofonox.com. That's ofonox.com.
You don't have to take an L just because you can't listen to the Swain event live. You can catch up on the podcast posted daily on the app, online, and on iTunes. Around the SEC, powered by 42nd Street Marketing, your game-winning play call for design, marketing, and branding.
Got some things going on in the SEC today, that's for sure. Around the SEC is brought to you by 42nd Street, handling all of your marketing and branding needs, website design, print design, and logo design. Ben, what do we have for Around the SEC?
It all starts and begins in Tuscaloosa this morning, as at 11 a.m. Central Time, so 12 o'clock Eastern. Tua Tagovailoa, Alabama star quarterback, will announce his college football / NFL draft decision. Monday morning in Tuscaloosa is what the article on AL.com reads. A news conference announced by Alabama on Sunday lists that Nick Saban and Tua Tagovailoa as the two participants in the event starting at 11 a.m. Central. So at 11 o'clock Central, 12 o'clock Eastern, Tua will be announcing his NFL draft decision. Will he stay? Will he go? According to Matt Zenitz of AL.com, Tua reportedly flew to New York on Friday to meet with doctors along with family and members of the Alabama medical staff concerning his draft decision. Listening to Aaron Suttles talk about the situation, he covers Alabama for The Athletic. He reported that at the bowl game against Michigan last week, many around Alabama felt like he was returning to school, but after meeting with doctors on Friday, feels as if there's not as much optimism.
He needs to go.
Him returning. Yes, he
needs to go.
Apparently, the doctors told him that you're right on schedule. You're not further along. You're not too far behind. You are on schedule. You probably, or you definitely won't participate in the spring, and kind of whether you are good to go for training camp is still up in the air. So if I'm Tua Tagovailoa, I am leaving and taking the Patrick Mahomes route, sit out a year. I know that was for different reasons. Patrick Mahomes sat behind Alex Smith for a year to learn the system. But who was the kid at Auburn last year? The basketball player Chuma Okeke tore his ACL and was still a first-round pick, and this is kind of a redshirt year for him. Who is he with? The Magic, I want to say. He was kind of, quote-unquote, redshirting this year, where he is sitting out for the year, rehabbing, redshirting, learning the system, and then he'll be good to go for next season. So if I'm Tua, I'm doing that. And I mean, he's still a top 10, top 15 pick.
Tua needs to leave. I mean, you won a national championship. You're going to be the second quarterback off the board. you're going to be the second quarterback off the board next year. You're not going to be picked over Trevor Lawrence if he decides to come out. So I think he needs to leave. And what if he gets hurt again? So I'm not just saying this because I'm a Tennessee fan and maybe it helps Tennessee's chances to beat Alabama because their backup quarterback, Mac Jones, pretty good too. He's no Tua, but still will be difficult for anybody to beat Alabama next year. But just looking at Tua, I think he should go.
Yeah, speaking of Alabama draft decisions, we have a long list of a couple of names that have decided what to do. Xavier McKinney, a safety, he has announced on Sunday that he is leaving school in order to head to the NFL. Had 95 tackles, 5.5 tackles for loss, 3 sacks, 3 interceptions, 4 forced fumbles, and a fumble recovery. He was very good for Alabama this year, one of the lone bright spots on Alabama's defense. Jerry Jeudy, as expected, he declared for the draft and is likely to be a top 5 pick. He was the 2018 Biletnikoff Award winner, had 77 catches for 1,163 yards to go along with 10 touchdowns this season. Jedrick Wills Jr., Alabama's offensive tackle, is leaving Alabama for the 2020 draft. He entered the program as a 4-star prospect from the state of Kentucky, one of those linemen that Kentucky thought was going to land over Alabama. He started 29 games and earned numerous preseason and midseason All-American honors as a junior. Alex Leatherwood, a first-round offensive lineman prospect, decided to stay at Alabama. And Dylan Moses, the Alabama linebacker who was injured preseason, and one of the reasons Alabama struggled on defense so much this year is because of the loss of him in that preseason injury. He announced that he will return to Alabama as well. So a mixed bag of results for Alabama. The last thing I want to mention is that Georgia imposed a fine and penalty for recruiting violations. This is an article on Dogs 247. The Georgia football program paid a $10,000 fine and imposed multiple recruiting restrictions following impermissible benefits provided to recruits. Bulldogs recruits received discounted or free school apparel 3 times between March of 2017 and January of 2019, according to a NCAA violation summary. In response to the violations, Georgia paid the $10,000 fine and reduced official visits by 4 during the current recruiting cycle, took away 3 weeks of unofficial visits, reduced its evaluation days by 9, and that was for the spring period, and then in the fall period, reduced evaluation days by 3. A whole lot of nothing.
A whole lot of nothing. NCAA is such a joke. Such a joke. Y'all think that the players getting free gear, you think that's the only thing they got for free? NCAA?
I point you in the direction of Nolan Smith, the #1 overall player in the country last year.
I'm watching the Tennessee basketball game against LSU. And I'm looking at Will Wade on the sideline. And I'm looking at Javonte Smart cook us up for the second time in a row. And I see Euros on the sideline. I'm like, what are we doing? What sense does this make? A coach was caught on FBI wiretap talking about a big offer, a big A offer, refuses to talk to his bosses at LSU. They suspend him. The AD is no longer there. They let go of the AD. Will Wade is just, he's back. Nothing happened to him at all. No fine, nothing. They went out and got the #1 player from Alabama, 5-star. He's coaching. After going through all that, Uros has not been cleared. Whew. Oh, boy.
The hypocrisy of the NCAA.
So, when things like what happened to Georgia, when that happened, I laugh. I don't care if who cheats. I don't care. Go for it. NCAA's not going to do anything. They won't do anything to Will Wade. If they won't do anything to Will Wade, who will they do anything to?
Donnie Tyndall.
Missouri. My goodness, man. It makes your blood boil thinking about Uros and all the hard work that he's put in and how innocent he is in this whole deal. And you got guys like Will Wade, Penny Hardaway, that's coaching. No suspension, no nothing at all. Chase Young. He got a bye week. He got 2 bye weeks against sorry competition. He got a chance to rest up. And he's back playing. Whew. All right, back to this running back coach situation. That's what makes me happy. Jay Graham is a real option. There's other conversations about our staff members, T. Martin being one of them. People are linking him to Ole Miss. Lane Kiffin is trying to go after the best assistants in the SEC. Make no mistake about that. He's done that already, targeting Alabama players. Targeting Alabama coaches. And remember, T. Martin got his first big break from Lane Kiffin. When T was at Kentucky, Lane brought T out there to Southern California, and boom. T and Lane are tight. They're cool. Lane wants T. Martin. There's no doubt about it. But Lane hired an offensive coordinator. He hired one in Jeff Levy from Central Florida. If you're T. Martin, is that move smart? Is that the best move for you in your career? T wants to be offensive coordinator. He wants to call plays. He wants to be a head coach. And I understand that. I respect that. And if he left to go somewhere else to do that, I would understand and respect that as well. I get it. I don't get caught up in the whole, well, you play at Tennessee, you got to stay here no matter what. You have to stay here and turn down better deals and better opportunities. But working with Lane Kiffin, is that a better opportunity? Leaving Tennessee to partner with Lane Kiffin, man, I don't know if that's a look
at Ole Miss
that you want if you're T. Martin. I don't know if you're going to be able to come back.
Yeah.
Now, I would bring him back, but I'm not making the decisions.
There will be some that will not want to bring him back if he does that.
Boy, you better be careful if you T. And am I friends with T? Yeah, I'm friends with T. But I'm not going to get into that. That's not my business. That's not my business at all. I'll find out when I find out what he's going to do, but he's in that business, not me. Lane Kiffin is certainly after T. Martin. But if you ask me which is a better spot for him, I would say Tennessee, at least for another year. Jay Graham, for me, is a number one target. Let's continue to tell you why he is a number one target. Coming up, stay with us. Be right back.
At work? Can't call in? Don't feel bad. You can talk to the guys on the text box. It's part of the free Swain Event app.
B-Dry is celebrating 60 years of protecting homes across the U.S. They are the basement and crawl space experts. There has been historic rainfall in East Tennessee recently. If you are experiencing wet foundation walls, puddles on your floor, or water where your floor and wall meet, then you should call B-Dry. They have over 500,000 customers nationwide. B-Dry gives free estimates for all homeowners, financing is available, and if you mention the Swain event, B-Dry will give you $500 off a full perimeter basement waterproofing solution. Wet basement? Better call B-Dry, 865-588-0454 or online at bdry.com.
We're here with Dr. Michael Carlson of Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine to discuss stem cell treatment and PRP. If you have orthopedic injuries such as shoulder pain, knee pain, Achilles tendonitis, or tennis elbow, you should give them a call.
That's right, Jason. We specialize in regenerative non-surgical orthopedics. So we treat damaged tendons, ligaments, and joints by using ultrasound-guided injections with stem cells or PRP. And this form of treatment actually stimulates the body's own reparative process and allows for healing of the damaged tissue.
So, Doc, what makes your training different than others?
Well, Jason, I've been practicing in Knoxville for 26 years, and I'm certified in interventional regenerative orthopedic medicine through the American Academy of Orthopedic Medicine. So unlike the big seminars that will advertise stem cells, fly someone in for a couple hours to talk about supposed stem cells that you order off of a shelf, then they'll depart, leaving the patient wondering who will be the person injecting me and what their level of training is. At Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine, I'm the one doing the procedure, and we're using your own bone marrow stem cells or PRP. So in other words, it comes from you and it goes back to you. So you know exactly what you're getting and know exactly the level of training involved.
Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine, trsportsmedicine.com. East Tennessee's leader in PRP and stem cell therapy.
Voted Best Barbecue in City View Magazine and a top 100 barbecue restaurant in the country, Dead End is a no-brainer when you are craving the smoky flavor of quality Q. Dead End makes it easy to enjoy their fantastic menu with online ordering and local delivery with Valet Gourmet. That's right, you can have Dead End brought to you. Can't think of the spread for your next event? Get Dead End to cater it. Check them out online, deadendbbq.com. Dead End Barbecue. The search is over.
Due to a special purchase, Beatty Chevrolet has over 100 pre-owned crossovers and SUVs at tremendous savings during the $1 Million Markdown event. 100 crossovers and SUVs from Chevrolet, Ford, Nissan, Volkswagen, Toyota, Honda, Mazda, and more. All makes and models starting at $89.95. And we'll buy your vehicle on the spot. Plus, get the Beatty warranty for life during the $1 Million Markdown. Only at Beatty Chevrolet in Knoxville or shop BeattyChevrolet.com. Sale prices plus tax, title, and license.
I just wanted to come by and congratulate you on the great work you've been doing.
I like your style. You remind me of a young me.
Failure is not an option.
That boy is good.
Don't remind yourself, nobody built like you. You design yourself.
Attaboy.
Hour one is brought to you by Hiller Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical. And it is time for Attaboy. And I'm giving my Attaboy to the Tennessee Titans going on the road and throwing salt in the wound. Pick 6 to wrap up the game against the Patriots. And they win. They win at Foxborough. And they go to the next round against the Baltimore Ravens. But I am giving the Tennessee Titans an Attaboy. Knocking off the Patriots, guaranteeing that we get a new team in the Super Bowl from the AFC. And we are definitely going to get a new team from the NFC because the Rams did not make the playoffs. So we are looking at probably a very exciting Super Bowl matchup here coming up. But Titans get an attaboy. Ryan Tannehill, man, what a story he's been. First round pick of the dude played receiver at Texas A&M, and then he plays quarterback. He's a first-round pick. Miami Dolphins. It doesn't work out. Players calling him out, and they ship him off to the Tennessee Titans, and boom, look what he's doing right now. Outplaying Tom Brady. He gets an attaboy. The Titans get an attaboy. Everyone gets an attaboy.
I saw a stat where it was like over the last, I don't even know how many years, but it's been a long time since either Ben Roethlisberger, Peyton Manning, or Tom Brady was not playing in the AFC Championship game. It's like this many times out of this many years, it just has barely happened that one of those three quarterbacks has not played in the AFC Championship game over the last 20, 25 years, and now none of them are even going to play next weekend. I mean, they're out by the divisional round. So, pretty absurd that we'll have some new blood in the championship game, hopefully.
The year of the young quarterback, man.
Yeah.
The year of the young quarterback. The year of the young quarterback. You know, no Tom Brady, no Drew Brees. He was bounced out, but you're going to get Lamar Jackson. You're going to get Deshaun Watson. You're going to get Patrick Mahomes, Russell Wilson, Jimmy Garoppolo. young quarterbacks are taking over, and I'm okay with that. The torch is being passed, and I think NFL is in good hands with those young quarterbacks.
Did you mention Deshaun Watson and Patrick Mahomes?
Shut up! Shut up! I'm watching the game, and Deshaun Watson gets blitzed by 2 defenders, and I mean, they had a clean hit on him. He spins out of the tackle, throws to the running back. Running back runs for 30-something yards. They go down, kick the field goal, win the game. And I'm like, well, that's what he did at Clemson. He did that at Clemson. He did that his whole entire career in college. Are you surprised he's doing it here in the NFL? And, of course, Marcus Spears, my favorite. How many teams pass on Deshaun Watson? Shut up, Marcus. I don't want to talk about it. I think about it all the time. All the time as a Bear fan. I don't want to think about it anymore.
Well, I'll change the subject for you. My attaboy goes to Santiago Vescovi, Tennessee's new
he deserves it.
New shiny toy. That's what it feels like, at least.
He deserves it.
Did not come out with the win, but he was a very positive, bright spot in a very tough basketball game, at least in the second half. 18 points on 6 of 9 shooting from the three-point line. Finished 6 of 13 totals, so did not make a shot beneath the three-point line, but still, he was ultra impressive. Had an issue with the turnovers. 9 turnovers. I thought a lot of those turnovers were nervous turnovers, to where it was simply dribbling it off his foot, or the ball just slipping through his hands, or just really simple mistakes that I think once he becomes accustomed or used to the feeling of playing Tennessee basketball, college basketball, the next week or two, I think those will go away.
The quality of defenders a little bit different. These are long, athletic, quick dudes, and Vescovi is not going to out-quick anyone. He's more like a Steve Nash type.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he can be here at Tennessee. And he has to be very, very smart with the basketball and kind of know what he can do, what he can't do versus this type of athleticism. But he certainly deserves an attaboy to go to a different country, totally different environment with all the pressure. And he may not even know about the pressure, to be honest, but all the pressure that this basketball team has. Rick Barnes coming off a $5 million contract increase. The expectations kind of to start the season. No one expected these guys to go win a championship, but not to look like this right now. To go out there and be the leading scorer for Tennessee in your first game and the leading rebounder. Now, that's more of what are you other guys doing? That's a shame. He should never be the leading rebounder in his first game. But you give an attaboy to Santiago Vescovi, who had a great debut. Fun to watch, can shoot it. He's open, gets a good look. That set shot, it's going in. It's going in. 865-255-03. Hour 2 is coming up around the corner. Stay with us.
Touchdown or turnover is up next on the Swain event.
You're driving home, flashing blue lights in your rearview mirror. The next thing you know, you're being arrested for DUI. Be responsible, but remember, just because you're arrested doesn't mean you're guilty. Call DUI and criminal defense attorney Marcos Garza. Put this number in your phone right now, 865-540-8300, because you never know when you or a friend will need it. Don't say guilty, say Garza. 865-540-8300 and GarzaLaw.com.
JC's Tree and Landscaping Service specializes in quality tree work done at an affordable price. Trimming and removing trees are their specialty. They also offer other services like land clearing, stump grinding, crane services, and all of your basic landscaping needs for both commercial and residential.
JC's will give you a free estimate and beat any written quote by a competitor to guarantee that you get the lowest price around. Don't risk your land with a fly-by-night service. JC's Tree and Landscaping is licensed and insured. Give them a call at 865-599-3799. When I made the move to my own studio, I was worried about this. I was worried about that. I was worried about, hey, did I get this piece of equipment? Did I get that piece of equipment? Does that sound good? Does that not sound good? One thing I didn't have to worry about, that was office furniture, because Office Furniture Outfitters met my furniture needs. With a 50,000 square foot facility, they have East Tennessee's largest selection and are the best value for new and used office furniture. Located in Knoxville, it's easy to find everything you need for your new space, including desks, file cabinets, chairs, conference tables, and more. Office Furniture Outfitters is turnkey. They came to my place, we mapped everything out that was needed, they delivered, and get this, set everything up. To learn more about what Office Furniture Outfitters can do for you, log on to ofonox.com. That's ofonox.com.
In debt? In too deep? Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union says, stop treading water and get out of the deep end. If you've got debt, make a splash and come get some cash. If Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union can refinance your car, boat, camper, motorcycle, credit cards, personal or home loan, they'll pay you up to $500. So come take the plunge right now. Refinance your loans. Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union will pay you. 5 convenient locations. Visit atfcu.com. Equal housing lender.
You're listening to the Swain Event.
And you know this, man.
Let's go to the B-Dry Waterproofing Hotline this morning. Let's bring on Jay. Jay, good morning. How you doing? How was your weekend? How was your morning?
Swain.
What's up?
Hey, man. Happy New Year. Hope you're doing well.
Happy New Year, man. I'm great.
Hey, guys, I was watching I saw that little video of Jeremy Pruitt after the Gator Bowl, and he was talking about, this is going to be the year of the Vols or the decade of the Vols, and I hope so. I hope this decade is better, but it kind of got me thinking and about the college football playoff, and I know that's ultimately where everybody at Tennessee and Tennessee fans want to be, and this upcoming decade, I would personally like to see 3 things for the Tennessee football program this decade, and I'll share them with you, Jason, and see what you think. But number one, you look at Clemson, Notre Dame, Oklahoma, Ohio State. These teams have very, very easy paths to the playoffs. I mean, they just do. Part of that because they have some talent, but a big part of that is because they don't play anybody. They can go 11-1, 12-0 every year. I want to see Tennessee stop scheduling these big-time out-of-conference games like Oklahoma. Our schedule is tough enough already. We don't need any more help. By my estimation, and this was supposed to be a weaker schedule for Tennessee this year, we would have had to face 4 top 10 teams if we would have made it to the SEC title game just to get to the playoff. 4. That, compared to Clemson, is unheard of. So we don't need to schedule any more Oklahomas. We don't need any more help with that.
I agree.
Number 2, I have always been of the mindset we don't run from Alabama. Well, I want a 9-game schedule. I'm tired of playing Alabama every year when nobody else has to, when these other teams get to slide and we have to deal with it. And then on the years that we have in Oklahoma and we get to play like a LSU or Auburn, on top of Georgia, Florida, and Alabama, Jason, even if we were a really good football team, it would be next to impossible to get to the playoff with a schedule like that. And if we went 10-2, we would have more quality wins than a 12-0 Clemson team, but they would get in over us. So I want to see a 9-game schedule where we can get some more, where we don't have to play Alabama every year, because you're going to have to face them every year in the under Saban, just about in the SEC title game. So it's not you're running from them. You're going to have to face them. It's just you're trying to make your path more manageable to get there. And then number 3, I think this upcoming decade, the in-state talent is only going to continue to grow in Tennessee. And when I was watching the college football playoff, a lot of players from the state of Tennessee were contributing to those playoff teams. And they weren't from Memphis. They were from East Tennessee and Middle Tennessee. And so that's what I want to see. I think this in-state talent is going to continue to grow. And I would like to see us continue to lock down these borders in state because I think that's going to serve us really well. But that's what I got. What do you think?
Well, Jay, I think you may be contradicting yourself a little bit. Here's why. If you want the path to be easier, why go to a 9-game schedule and play another SEC team, even though it may not be Alabama, but you're still opening yourself up to play another in-conference game and get beat up on even more?
Well, there's there's truth in that, but I would rather have to deal with Mississippi State or Ole Miss.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you have this rotating schedule with 9 games, okay, one year you may get that draw. But then maybe one year, instead of picking up Alabama, you pick up LSU and Auburn and all the top teams in the league. I mean, you may have a brutal schedule, too. So I will never say I don't want to play Alabama. I would never say that at all.
Right.
But I do understand. I am on board with saying, what do we have to prove to go out and schedule Oklahoma, schedule these top?
Florida doesn't do it.
It don't make any sense.
Why do we do it? I don't understand that. Florida doesn't do it. There's other programs that don't do that. I don't understand why we do that.
It doesn't make any sense. If you have a schedule already in the SEC, if you're Tennessee, it doesn't make any sense to go schedule Oklahoma right now. It doesn't make sense right now.
Florida plays Florida State every year and scheduled Miami this year.
Miami's a joke. Florida State's been down. Miami's been a joke for a while now. I mean, we got to stop acting like this is the 80s.
Yeah, I mean
that's fair, but they didn't schedule the game a month before the season.
We seem to play. Every team, every out of conference team we play seems to be competing for their championship title that year.
Jay, you're right. We don't need to schedule those teams to get to the college football playoff, Jay. And
we don't.
Yeah, thanks for the phone call, man. Sorry to cut you off. We got to keep it going. That is the objective, is to get to the playoff.
But also, outside of this year's upcoming game with Oklahoma and then Oklahoma coming back to Knoxville, over the next decade, there isn't anybody like Oklahoma on the schedule. It's Pittsburgh and Nebraska and teams like that, Army. And
if you can go 2-3 against Alabama, Georgia, Florida, and take care of business in the SEC championship game, you're gonna be in the playoff.
Yep.
Like that's what you have to do if you're Tennessee. And I think Tennessee can do that. They can do that.
Absolutely.
They can do it. But you're only making it harder for yourself when you go out and schedule in Oklahoma. I think Jay's right there, but you don't need to run away from Alabama to get in the college football playoff. You don't have to. Just take care of business against Georgia and Florida. It's not going to be easy, but getting to the college football playoff is not going to be easy for an SEC team. Simple as that. It may be easy for Clemson. It may be easy for Oklahoma and other schools, but it's not going to be for an SEC team. It's just the way it is. It's part of being in the best conference in America.
Through 2027, this is Tennessee's scheduled non-conference opponents, and I'm including the smaller schools. Charlotte at Oklahoma this year, Furman, Troy. Next year is Bowling Green, Pittsburgh, South Alabama. 2022 is Ball State at Pittsburgh, Army. 2023 is at BYU, home against UConn. 2024 is the second part of the home and home with Oklahoma. Oklahoma will come to Knoxville. And then 2026, 2027 at Nebraska, home against Nebraska.
Okay, yeah, I can do that. That's a nice schedule for the next couple of years.
So through 2027, I mean, Oklahoma is really the only ridiculous
home and
home.
Yeah, we can do that.
And even with Oklahoma this upcoming year, who knows what team they're going to be? They have so many holes, so many players to replace at key positions. They may have to replace their head coach. And in 2024, who knows what Oklahoma will be?
Yeah, but still.
Yeah, I get the point. And I agree. You don't have to schedule Oklahoma when you have those Alabama, Florida, Georgia, and then who knows who your non-conference or your crossover with Alabama will be in 2024. What if you draw LSU that year?
Yeah.
Then you end up like Texas A&M, and you're facing Georgia and Clemson in the same year when normally you don't.
You just don't know when a team is going to be good or not.
Yeah.
That's the kind of the point here. You just don't know. Let's keep it going, and let's go back to the B-Dry Waterproofing Hotline. Let's bring in Devontae. Devontae, good morning.
Good morning, fellas.
Good morning.
One thing we don't need to do is get rid of Alabama. That's a rivalry, baby. One of the best rivalries ever. For real, if you really think about it. Nah, we don't need to get rid of Alabama.
No, we're not going
there. If it's tough,
there.
then it's tough, baby. When the tough get tough, you got to get tougher.
What you say?
But that ain't what I called to talk about. Jay just had me thinking of something when he called, and I want to indulge in it. How you guys doing, man? Smile this morning.
I'm great, man.
The state of Alabama, the state of Tennessee, we are on a complete, I would say a rebuild, but the rebuild is over. We are going up now, the whole state. The Predators, they went 2-0 this weekend. The Grizzlies went 2-0 this weekend. And the best sport in the state from the best university in the state won last week. It don't get no better than that. And if people don't know what I'm talking about Vol football, baby, just for the ones who don't know. And I don't know if Titans Bill knows. Somebody need to go wake Titans Bill up. We ain't heard from him since we lost to the Texans about 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, Titans Bill has not called in.
What'd you say?
I said Titans Bill has not called in. I think he's mad at me or something. I don't know.
Man, we haven't heard from him in a long time, man. I ain't heard from him New Orleans week. I ain't heard from him the week we beat Houston. And we ain't hear from him last week. And hey, we finna play Baltimore. And Brad Matthews, I hope you listening. So we finna beat the poo out of Baltimore.
That's right.
We're gonna do it for the Steelers, man.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
We're gonna do it for the Steelers. Have y'all think about this? I know, Swain, you said this specifically. We're gonna see a new Super Bowl this year. Hear me out now. Y'all listening?
Mm-hmm.
Give me the Tennessee Titans versus San Francisco 49ers. What it sound like?
I think we're gonna get a good Super Bowl no matter who's in the game. To be honest, I think Devontae, thanks for the phone call. I don't know if the Titans being in it's going to be the ideal storyline from a national standpoint, but the Tennessee Titan fans, they would show up and show out for sure there in Miami if that was the case. I would never run away from Alabama. Never. Ever. 865-200-5503 Dry Waterproofing Hotline. Stay with us. Be right back. Hour 2 is brought to you by Alumni Hall and alumnihall.com.
While the other guys are taking guesses, the Swain event is taking you behind the scenes and in the huddle every morning from 7 till 10 right here.
Hey, it's Chris Lowe of ESPN. And listen, maybe Jason Swain didn't wear number 1 quite as well as the great Leonard Little did at Tennessee, but he is your go-to guy for all things Big Orange. Join us weekly on the Swain event, brought to you by Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine and trsportsmedicine.com.
We're here with Dr. Michael Carlson of Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine to discuss stem cell treatment and PRP. If you have orthopedic injuries such as shoulder pain, knee pain, Achilles tendonitis, or tennis elbow, you should give them a call.
That's right, Jason. We specialize in regenerative non-surgical orthopedics. So we treat damaged tendons, ligaments, and joints by using ultrasound-guided injections with stem cells or PRP. And this form of treatment actually stimulates the body's own reparative process and allows for healing of the damaged tissue.
So, Doc, what makes your training different than others?
Well, Jason, I've been practicing in Knoxville for 26 years, and I'm certified in interventional regenerative orthopedic medicine through the American Academy of Orthopedic Medicine. So unlike the big seminars that will advertise stem stem cells, fly someone in for a couple hours to talk about supposed stem cells that you order off of a shelf. Then they'll depart, leaving the patient wondering who will be the person injecting me and what their level of training is. At Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine, I'm the one doing the procedure, and we're using your own bone marrow stem cells, or PRP. So in other words, it comes from you and it goes back to you. So you know exactly what you're getting and know exactly the level of training involved.
Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine, trsportsmedicine.com. East Tennessee's leader in PRP and stem cell therapy.
When you see the happy face on our truck, you'll be smiling because you'll know that you're in love.
For a limited time only, Hiller is offering 0% interest financing for up to 48 months on qualifying high-efficiency HVAC systems. With no down payment required, expert installations, and convenient monthly payments, now is the perfect time to schedule. Visit happyhiller.com today.
Call the Happy Face Truck today.
Voted Best Barbecue in City View Magazine and a top 100 barbecue restaurant in the country, Dead End is a no-brainer when you are craving the smoky flavor of quality Q. Dead End makes it easy to enjoy their fantastic menu with online ordering and local delivery with Valet Gourmet. That's right, you can have Dead End brought to you. Can't think of the spread for your next event? Get Dead End to cater it. Check them out online, deadendbbq.com. Dead End Barbecue. The search is over.
You're listening to the Swain Event.
And you know this, man.
Hour 2 is brought to you by Alumni Hall, Turkey Creek Paper Mill, and the Westtown Mall location. You can shop online 24/7 at alumnihall.com. Let's go back to the B-Dry Waterproofing Hotline this morning, and we got DR Vol. DR Vol, good morning.
Morning, guys. Do y'all think that Charlie Burris, Brady Hoke, and Titans-Bill watched the Titans game together?
Yes.
I do, too. Did you see his tweets? It was all cat.
Yeah, Charlie was happy, man. I'm happy for Charlie.
I am, too. There was a video going around on Twitter around Christmas time, this guy opening a present up, and he got an Xbox or something like that, started screaming top of his lungs, and his cat attacked him. That's about what I imagine happened to Charlie when they won.
Definitely. Definitely. And the cat was for sure present. I can promise you that.
Yeah, I'm happy for him, guys. Charlie needs to do like me. I got lucky during the Tennessee-Indiana game. My phone went dead, and so I couldn't send out angry tweets. And I did learn a lesson. It's a little bit difficult to take two young ones to a football game, but we survived, luckily.
I'm glad you could survive.
Yeah. So I got a quick question. With Yak leaving, is that going to affect us come February?
No, not in a negative way, because Tennessee is only filling 2 or 3 spots, to be honest. And I think Yak has helped Tennessee moving forward than hurting Tennessee. I mean, some folks look at it as, oh, my God, we're not going to be able to go back to Memphis. No, Yak opened Memphis up for us, so now the next guy can have success in Memphis.
And Tennessee's 3 running back signees have already signed.
Yeah.
And David Johnson spoke to Volquest and Austin Price and said that he reached out on Saturday afternoon to Jabari Small and Laneith Whitehead and T. Hodge, saying that they should continue to have careers in orange and white.
That's what a professional does.
He said, I wanted to be upfront and honest with them. I told them that Tennessee was the best fit for them. It's not about a position coach. It's about the school you are attending, and I'm looking forward to watching them grow on and off the field. I think they will be a big benefit for Tennessee.
Speaking of that, don't y'all think it's kind of low? We've only got 4 early enrollees.
I mean, when you compare it to the last few years, yeah. I mean, last year, I'm not sure the exact number, but we had a lot. And then the year before that, we had quite a few. And that was Butch Jones's kind of plan, was to get as many early enrollees as possible to, kind of help change the roster over. So, yeah, I noticed that too. I said, oh, only 4 on this video. That's a little weird. But, hey, I'm cool. I mean, they're good players. And the guys that we got coming in during the summer,
there's time to get reps in, time to get ready to go, and hopefully we won't have to rely so much on true freshmen anyway. So I did notice that number being a little bit low, but I'm not gonna freak out.
No. I kind of hope Harrison Bailey gets a haircut while he's there. He looks like he just woke up. Personally, I think it'd be cool if he got dreads.
Yeah, I don't care what his hair looks like, long as it does not cover up his eyes in the helmet. And I don't care. I just know that he has put his Tennessee career over everything else right now. Didn't play in the U.S. Army All-American game. Did not practice. Did not do anything. Because all focus is on the start of his Tennessee career. And so I appreciate that because he could have played. And we all should appreciate that because that is a special time. All the hard work in Little League, middle school, high school, all that hard work, and you get a chance to play with the best of the best on NBC, representing the Army, the All-American game. That is a fun time. I can speak to that for sure. So him deciding not to play, they let you know kind of his maturity level and kind of where he is and what's important to him. And that's starting his Tennessee career off the right way. And he's ready to battle during the spring. Let's keep it going. Let's get to Tramel. Tramel, good morning.
Yo. What you do?
Good morning.
Good morning, fellas. Sitting here drinking my homemade smoothie out of my Swain event cup. Y'all remember when I won that?
I remember, man.
Yeah, I've been doing that dance all weekend.
Yeah, man, I remember. Almost a year ago, National Signing Day, dead end.
Oh yeah, we coming back. I'm thinking about letting my boys skip school and bring them up there.
Let's do it.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, man. Just an hour and a half drive for you.
Whatever. Me and my boys can bond a little bit. But man. The run game and how we probably won't be able to get away with that against the Ravens. Oh yeah, go Big Orange, man. Yeah, you know, my boss pulled it out. That was amazing. I don't know. I've been crazy all weekend, man.
You mean Tennessee's win over Indiana?
Yeah,
it's a big time win.
I've been crazy all weekend, man. That was amazing, man. Coming from behind like that. But on another note with them Titans, man, y'all was saying that the run game that probably ain't gonna be able to work. But I think that was kind of like planting a seed for next week. And, man, I don't think we're going to have Arthur Smith after this year. This dude's been, ever since, Tannehill took him over, man, he's been calling himself some type of games. Well, I'm telling you, the play calling has just been amazing, man, for a guy that in his first year calling plays, man. It's been, because I'm a Titans fan, so I watched kind of firsthand. And I was kind of upset with him at first, you know what I'm saying? But I was thinking of course, it was Marcus Mariota. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what happened with him, but I think Arthur Smith is next level coaching, man. Just from some of the plays he calls and the position that he puts some of his players in when he's calling those plays, and some of the run calls that he calls. I mean, teams know we running the ball, but the way he calls the plays, it, you know what I'm saying, still gives Derrick Henry, you know what I'm saying, opening. And I don't know. I just think we got a really good chance of going up there and pulling another upset, man.
Oh, I think so too.
The run game travels, man.
I think so too, Tramel, and thanks for the phone call. I mean, you look at the Patriots; they were top 10 in the league in rush defense, only allowing less than 100 yards a game. And Baltimore Ravens, they're right there on pretty much the same level as the Patriots as far as rush defense. I think they can have success running the football. Will it be the same type of success? I don't know. Derrick Henry went for 100 yards in the first half. I mean, almost had 200 for the game. So I don't know if it will be to that level, but the Titans should have success running the football. I mean, they're one of the best in the league. So I think they will run the football. It's just, can Ryan Tannehill make plays to A.J. Brown, not have any turnovers? It's that part.
He had a terrible interception.
It was bad.
Terrible interceptions. Your wide receivers caught 2 passes for 10 yards.
Yeah, it was.
So that was what we said earlier about the run game. Not that we were down on the run game, but that in addition to the run game, it only produced 14 points. So in addition to the run game, Ryan Tannehill has to step up and make some more plays, and he did. He did not play well on Saturday night. I did not think he did.
Yeah, you put a lot of pressure on Derrick Henry, man, when you don't have success in the passing game. So you want to be a little bit more balanced. I'm not sitting here saying you want to be 50-50, but that's a tough ask of Derrick Henry for him to literally carry the team to the Super Bowl without anybody else doing anything on offense.
Yeah, he's already got, 28 carries against the Patriots.
Yeah.
A week after having 26 or so against the Texans, he'll have upwards of 25, 30 against the Ravens. And I'm not concerned about the Titans' offense. I'm not saying that they'll have some dynamic performance against the Ravens. The Ravens have a great run defense. I believe it's 4th in the league. But my point is I'm more concerned about the Titans stopping Lamar Jackson and Mark Ingram and the Ravens' backup running back. What's his name? Gus something. It's slipping my mind at the moment. But the Ravens' running attack, that is more concerning than the Titans' offense at the moment.
Yeah. 865-255-03, beat, drop, waterproofing hotline. Who we got next?
Nathan,
good morning.
Swain, what's up, man?
What's going on, Nathan?
Man, we drove my family down to the bowl game, and man, I'll have to say that was one of the probably most exciting games that I've been to. It was amazing to come back, and I'm sure you've talked about it, but man, the defense just played so well in that game, and the improvement that they've made since the opening week against Georgia State and even BYU, it's just amazing. To me, that's what gives me so much excitement going into next year. Is I think the defense will be really good next year, and I'm excited about that. But Swain, I want to ask you 2 questions. One, what's the most concern you have in a position for coming back next year with the players we're losing? I'm sorry.
Most concerned. It would probably be if Trey Smith leaves, either him or Jawan Jennings. Those 2 positions, because it's not like they're the only, because you look at Darrell Taylor, you look at Daniel Patulli, Najee Warrior, but Jennings and Smith, they bring more than just production. They bring the attitude. They bring the spark on offense. They bring the mentality there on the offensive line, the inspiration, the leadership. I think it's just bigger than kind of the production. And those guys, they produce too, but look at this offense during the season when Jawan Jennings was making plays. I mean, South Carolina goes and scores the first play of the game, and the stadium is quiet. Jawan energy and how he was breaking tackle, his playmaking in that game, I mean, it fueled everyone's play. So Jawan, Trey Smith, I think they're going to be the 2 biggest pieces to replace if Trey Smith goes to the NFL.
Well, Swain, one other thing I want to say, and this I said I wanted to ask a question, but this is more of a comment.
Mm-hmm.
When JG was struggling during the game, man, we were sitting there, and there was a guy behind us that just continually, we got to have a quarterback. We got to have a quarterback. Well, then he brought Maurer in. Maurer nearly throws 3 interceptions on one drive, and then he took Maurer out and put JG back in, and it was just like the guy was just continually to trash JG. And I just want to say this to the fan base. I think there's one thing about, like, when you go to a game, but when, man, you just trash individual players, that is not good at all. Because where we were sitting, there was a lot of parents that were sitting. Henry T's mom and dad were close to where we were. And I mean, man, it was – I just was like, dude, shut up. I mean, I think you have a right to cheer, but, man, when you bash a kid like that, it is not good for us as a fan base and stuff. But, listen, man, I enjoy the show, and I'll hang up and listen.
Nathan, you are 1,000% correct. Here's why. Because there's people that heard what you said and go, what? You mean JG can't be criticized? Get out of here. He can be criticized. Absolutely. He can be criticized. We have criticized him fairly, I think, when he has not played well. He should be criticized in the first half of that football game against Indiana. But listen to what Nathan said. It is where, the timing, and the environment of doing that. You're sitting around players' parents. It's just not smart to criticize players individually, number one. Number two, what good is going to come from it? So you think the coaches are going to hear you and say, oh, hey, okay, we hear you now. We're gonna listen to you. I mean, you're just wasting your breath. Use that energy to cheer. Use that energy to boo the other team. I think it's a waste of energy. But no, it doesn't do anything to help. It's one thing to say, JG got to step it up. He's not playing well. Golly, he's terrible this half. That's fair, whatever. But know your surroundings. Have a little awareness. That's what Nathan was talking about. And I agree with Nathan. All right. We're going to be able to talk about Jay Graham?
After the break.
You sure?
We need to talk about Jay Graham and a development with T. Martin.
Are we going to be able to talk about it?
I think so.
All right, we're going to do it. We're going to do it. So we're going to hold the phone calls in this next segment. And there's a development with the current staff and that we're going to talk about. Also, my number one target, Jay Graham, former Tennessee running back, currently at Texas A&M as the running back coach and co-offensive coordinator. So don't go anywhere. Hour 2 brought to you by Alumni Hall, alumnihall.com.
Looking for a different way to enjoy the Swain event? Then check out Swain Event TV, driven by Toyota Knoxville and ToyotaKnoxville.com. Follow the show on Periscope and Facebook Live. Don't just hear the show, see the show. That's Swain Event TV. While the players are gearing up for the gridiron, it's time for you to get geared up at Alumni Hall. Find the best selection of Nike, Nike Golf, Peter Millar, and all of those retro logos you love. And the 2 for $28 t-shirt deal? Game changer. And don't forget about the rest of your game day crew. There are plenty of options for the entire family and to upgrade that tailgate. Shop now at one of their 6 convenient locations in Tennessee or 24/7 at alumnihall.com. It's football time in Tennessee.
Hey there, Swain Event listeners. The new year is here and it's that time for new beginnings and adventure, which may include buying, selling, or investing in real estate. If this is part of your 2020 plan, then give me a call, Jennifer Morris with Keller Williams Realty, 865-694-5904, or email me at jennifermorris865@gmail.com. And go Vols!
Fellas, I have a very important question to start the new year. Have you noticed a lack of energy, motivation, and drive? It could be from low T, or it could be from something else, like sleep apnea, or even low thyroid. Start your new year healthier with a quick and easy health assessment at Low T Center. They treat more than just low T, including sleep apnea, low thyroid, and more. It's covered by most health insurance. If you've been feeling tired, grumpy, have weight gain, or loss of muscle, call 865-392-1388 or go to lowtcenter.com. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
Craving flavors that don't take hours in the kitchen? Mrs. Grissom's cheese spreads and chicken salads are the perfect go-to. Ready-to-eat meals and snacks found in the meat or dairy section at your local grocery store. Whether you crave the classic Mrs. Grissom's pimento cheese or the gluten-free select varieties like the cranberry pecan chicken salad, enjoy small-town flavor in every bite. Select the best. Select Mrs. Grissom's.
Join the Swain event at Dead End Barbecue on Wednesday, February 5th to celebrate the Vault's victories on the recruiting trail. Enjoy a special barbecue breakfast and listen to Jason Swain and the guys break down each signee during this special edition of the Swain event live from Dead End Barbecue. Former players will be on hand as well as great guests. What better way to celebrate the 2020 signing class than enjoying some delicious barbecue and hanging out with the Swain event? Spend National Signing Day with the Swain event at Dead End Barbecue.
If you aren't following the Swain event on Twitter, then are you even on Twitter? Hit that follow button. It's the right thing to do.
In 2012, Jay Graham was brought to Tennessee. Now, before he was brought to Tennessee by Derek Dooley, Jay Graham served as a quality control, GA, whatever you want to call it, but he served that role for Tennessee when Trooper Taylor was the running backs. And Troop had never coached running backs. Our running backs had two guys go for 1,000 yards, and Gerald Riggs and Cedric Houston. Our running backs got a lot of instruction from Jay Graham, just about seeing the whole, little tricks and tips here and there. Trooper was really good about accountability, how to practice, discipline, things like that. But Jay was very, very instrumental in helping us be successful in the running game. So Jay leaves here and gets his first big job, I want to say at UTC. Jay then goes to South Carolina and does a really good job there, and then Dooley brings him back in 2012. Dooley gets fired. Okay. Butch Jones takes over, and Butch wanted Jay to be a part of the staff. Jay decided that he did not want to be part of the staff. Had nothing to do with Tennessee, but coaches talk. Coaches get feelings. They get this intuition. We get that same feeling sometimes in our everyday life. We get a gut feeling. And there were some things that stood out to Jay that did not look attractive for him to stay with Butch Jones. So he decided to leave and go to Florida State and partner up with Jimbo Fisher. Randy Sanders was already down there. There was already connection with Randy Sanders. And so Jay went with Jimbo Fisher, and he's been with Jimbo Fisher ever since. Now, last year, there was some talk about Jay Graham possibly being someone that would be added to the staff, but that would have required either Chris Winkie or David Johnson leaving. It did not happen. Since it did not happen, Jay Graham stayed at Texas A&M. He stayed at Texas A&M. He got a raise, and he was slapped with the co-offensive coordinator title. So here we are a year later. David Johnson has left. Jay Graham, Tennessee. Where are we right now? I think Jay Graham needs to be the number one target. Here's why. There's connections from Florida State, Jeremy Pruitt. Pruitt should have enough information on how Jay Graham operates as an assistant coach. Jay Graham has coached here before. I think he can do a really good job continuing the relationship in Memphis. He has experience. The next person, and I've heard this name, of course I've heard this name, but it's Montario Hardesty. The upside of Montario Hardesty is he is a rising star. He can talk that talk. He wouldn't have any problem going to Memphis and continuing the relationships and continuing the success in Memphis. Okay? Instant credibility. Play running back in the league. Play running back here. Instant credibility. Instant. But lacks experience. Lacks experience recruiting high-profile players. Lacks the experience. He's at Charlotte right now as the wide receiver coach.